close because they wouldn't even give him a loan to go and put a bid in on the casino because he had the owner of Caesar's Palace and then he had an ex-federal informant and mob ties down there trying to put a bid on a casino to bring it to Broadway.
Today, Wednesday, a state board rejected the Times Square casino bid from Jay-Z in Roc Nation and those companies that I mentioned.
The future is not something you wait for, it's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still.
And there's a theme in Queens, and I know Nas is a part of this. Queens get the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again. I just had to rub that in.
Jay-Z is fuming right now. And honestly, who could blame him? Imagine putting your name, your legacy, your billion-dollar reputation on the line for a flashy Times Square casino, only for City to shut it down before it even takes off. Just days later, the ultimate twist drops. Nas, the same Nas who torched him with ether back in the day, gets the green light for his own massive $5 billion Queens casino project. The timing? Way too perfect to be coincidence. And just when you think it couldn't get more disrespectful, Queens Borough President Donovan Richards pours salt on the wound. He doesn't hold back, straight up tells reporters, "K the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again." That line hit like a punch to the gut. The message was loud and clear. Queens stays winning, while Jay's dream just went up in smoke. Man, let's talk about it. These liquor brands, they're winning. The way they're moving right now, it's impressive. And for the people behind them, this isn't just business. It's a full circle moment. Especially for New York, this is huge. You can feel in the air. This isn't shade. This is a straight up victory lap. And it's happening right in Jay-Z's face. Fans online aren't missing a beat either. They're connecting decoding every move and saying, this ain't just business anymore, this is personal. You can almost hear the drums rolling in the background. It's giving Takeover versus Ether energy all over again, and it's starting to look like history is repeating itself. And this time, the long game just paid off. People are whispering, Nas just won, quietly, smoothly, and on his own terms. So let's break it down. Jay-Z was all in on this massive partnership with Caesar's Palace. We're talking $1 billion Times Square casino that was supposed to transform Broadway into a Vegas-style hotspot. Glitz, glamour, gambling, everything rolled into one. Jay pitched it as a cultural reset for City. His name stamped on it, center stage, like a golden crown over New York. But the city? Yeah, they weren't feeling it. First came the Broadway League. They called the whole plan disruptive. Then the local residents spoke up, saying this didn't belong in the heart of their city. Even the advisory committee stepped in and hit the brakes hard. They shut the whole thing down before it could even make it to the final stage. Just like that, Jay's dream of planning $1 billion empire in the middle of Manhattan vanished. Smoke, gone. And let's keep it real, Jay-Z doesn't lose in public. His brand is built on winning, on always being 10 steps ahead. So to take this kind of L in front of the whole city, while an old rival quietly stacks a win, that's a different kind of pain. Because this wasn't just a failed business move. This was Jay going after Manhattan itself. The prestige, the tourists, the flashing lights. He wanted his name glowing over Times Square like he owned the block. But instead, the city closed the door in his face. And then, boom, here comes Nas. Just days later, Queen steps in and gets the green light. You couldn't write the timing better if it were a movie. Jay gets rejected. Nas secures the bag. And now the energy in the streets? It's starting to feel like the beginning of something bigger, like revenge. Because if you know Jay, you know one thing. He never forgets a loss. And even though he hasn't said much publicly, let's not get it twisted, he's definitely plotting. Jay plays the long game too, but this time, he took the hit. While he was out chasing skyscrapers and bright lights, Nas stayed grounded, stayed quiet. He focused on building something that mattered, to his roots, to his people, to Queens. And now, it's official. Resorts World Queens at Aqueduct, backed by Nas himself, just got approved. And this isn't some side hustle with his face on a billboard. It's a $5 billion mega project that's about to turn Queens into a mini Vegas of its own. This is bigger than casinos. This is legacy building in real time. From that moment on, everything changed. The energy between them was no longer subtle. Jay was chasing the spotlight, building his name, stacking wins, and Nas treated him like a new kid in the veterans' locker room. That quiet tension never disappeared. It just grew louder with time. Jay always seemed to be playing a game of one-up. Bigger deals, bolder lyrics, business moves aimed to flex. But Nas, calm, cold, calculated. He waited. And just when it seemed like Jay had the upper hand, Nas would reappear and remind everyone, Jay-Z is great, but he's not untouchable. Their back and forth became one of the most iconic rivalries in hip-hop history. But things really exploded after Biggie's death in '97. With Big gone, New York didn't have a king anymore. And suddenly, the question echoed through the city, who's next? That's when things got real. Jay saw himself as the natural heir. He was dropping hits, collaborated with legends, and laying down his empire brick by brick. Nas, on the other hand, was already the chosen one, but critics were starting to say he peaked with Illmatic. Jay heard that narrative and leaned into it. You could hear it in his lyrics. On Where I'm From, Jay started letting off slick subliminals, trying to claim the throne. He wasn't hinting. He was declaring himself the new king of New York, and people were listening. But Nas, he wasn't having it. On We Will Survive, he responded in his own quiet but cutting way, suggesting Jay was trying way too hard to fill Biggie's shoes. That line hit different. Suddenly, this wasn't about rap skills. It was about legacy, pride, control. The streets pick sides. Brooklyn versus Queens. Hustler versus poet. Jay-Z versus Nas. This was no longer friendly competition. This was war. And that war reached a boiling point in 2001. Jay had had enough of the back and forth. So he lit the match. Takeover dropped live at Summer Jam. No metaphors. No coded bars. Jay called Nas out by name. Said he only had one classic album, and that his career was already finished. The crowd lost their minds. It was explosive. For a second, it looked like Jay just ended the beef with one track. But then, Nas fired back. And what he dropped wasn't just a diss. It was Ether. That song didn't respond. It detonated. Nas stripped Jay down line by line. Questioned his image, his talent, his reputation, even his looks. It was raw, it was personal, and it was devastating. Ether wasn't just a song. It became language, a new verb. To ether someone meant to destroy them completely. Hip-hop had never seen anything like it. The entire culture flipped. Suddenly, Jay wasn't the winner. He was the one who got bodied. People weren't asking if Ether was better. They were saying Jay never recovered. And honestly, this casino moment feels like Ether Part 2. The parallels are almost eerie. Jay talks big, makes a grand move. Then out of nowhere, here comes Nas, calm, strategic, and flips the script. Again. And just like before, Jay couldn't take the L quietly. He clapped back fast with Super Ugly. But instead of keeping it lyrical, he went straight for the personal. He bragged about sleeping with the mother of Nas's daughter. Thought it would end the debate. But it backfired bad. Fans were disgusted. Critics called it low. Even Jay's own mother told him he went too far. But Queens? Queens is where the grit lives. LL, Mobb Deep, Nicki, and of course, Nas. That borough builds legends. From dirt. From nothing that S.O. when Jay's billion-dollar Times Square vision got denied right in the middle of Manhattan. And Nas turned around and locked his $5 billion win in Queens. The message couldn't have been louder. Brooklyn fumbled. Queens carried. And for those of us who remember Ether, this whole situation, it feels like deja vu history. Just hit the rewind button and gave us the same exact ending. Only this time, it hurts more because this wasn't on a track. It was a real-world billion-dollar L. And Nas didn't just win. He did it in front of the whole city, on his home turf. While the crowd cheered, you can feel the shift. Queens is celebrating. Brooklyn is quiet. And somewhere behind the scenes, you already know Jay is plotting his next move. Because if there's one thing we've learned about HOV, he never forgets humiliation. But this isn't about rap anymore. It's about legacy. It's about two giants who built empires out of bars. Now battling for billion-dollar real estate and political clout, the mic might be down, but the rivalry, it's still alive. Just wearing a new suit and TIES. Oh, here's a real question. Is this the rebirth of a legendary feud in a brand new arena? Or is Jay already lining up his silent revenge play behind some glass wall boardroom? Either way, Queens is winning right now. And Brooklyn's pride just took another HIT. So what do you think? Did Nas just outplay Jay again? Or is this just the calm before the next big storm? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button, send this video to your crew, and make sure you subscribe for more wild stories straight from the world of hip-hop, money, and fame. And yo, don't go anywhere. Click the next video on your screen right now, because it gets even crazier.